ਕੌਂਸਲੇਟ ਜਨਰਲ ਆਫ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੀ ਅਗਵਾਈ ਹੇਠ ਰਿਟਾਇਰਡ ਕਰਨਲ ਹਰਸਿਮਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਲਿਖੀ ਗਈ ਪੁਸਤਕ ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਬਾਬਾ ਦੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਯੁਗਾਂਤਰ ਆਸ਼ਰਮ ਗਦਰ ਮੈਮੋਰੀਅਲ ਹਾਲ ਵਿਖੇ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਜੀ ਹਾਂ, ਇਸ ਪੁਸਤਕ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਮੌਕੇ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਦੇ 50 ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਅਹਿਮ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲਿਆ। ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਅਕੁਨ ਸੱਭਰਵਾਲ ਨੇ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਅਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਰਿਟਾਇਰਡ ਕਰਨਲ ਹਰਸਿਮਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਲਿਖੀ ਪੁਸਤਕ ਬਾਰੇ ਵਿਸਥਾਰਤ ਚਾਨਣਾ ਪਾਇਆ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ डिप्टी कौंसल जनरल सैन फ्रांसिस्को ने शहीद बाबा दीप सिंह जी ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਰਧਾਂਜਲੀ ਭੇਟ ਕਰਦਿਆਂ ਪੁਸਤਕ ਬਾਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤੇ। ਇਸ ਪੁਸਤਕ ਦੇ ਰਚੇਤਾ ਰਿਟਾਇਰਡ ਕਰਨਲ ਹਰਸਿਮਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਲਿਖੀ ਪੁਸਤਕ ਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਹਿਲੂਆਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਵਿਸਥਾਰਤ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਆਈਆਂ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤਾਂ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤੇ। ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਅਤੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਅਕੁਨ ਸੱਭਰਵਾਲ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕਰਨਲ ਹਰਸਿਮਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਪੁਸਤਕ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਸਵਾਲ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ। ਕਰਨਲ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਸਵਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਵਾਬ ਦਿੱਤੇ। ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਕਰਮੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਸਵਾਲ ਜਵਾਬ ਕੀਤੇ। ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਸਨੈਕਸ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ। ਇਸ ਖਾਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਸਿੱਖ ਅਤੇ ਮੁਸਲਿਮ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਕੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਗਰੇਵਾਲ, ਬਲਬੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਢਿੱਲੋਂ, ਬਖਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਬੈਂਸ, ਹਰਸਿਮਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ, ਗੁਰਜਤਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਰੰਧਾਵਾ, ਅਸ਼ੋਕ ਭੋਰਾ, ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਸਾਂਝੀ ਸੋਚ ਅਖਬਾਰ ਅਤੇ ਟੀਵੀ ਦੇ CEO ਬੂਟਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਾਸੀ, ਵਿਕਰਮ ਪਾਸੀ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਅਹਿਮ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲਿਆ।
On this unexpectedly bright morning, we were expecting a lot of rain, but it's nice, warm and sunny today in San Francisco for a change. It is my proud privilege to welcome you all. I do understand that it's a working day, a working morning, and to have all of you present here for a discussion on a book about one of the most revered, one of the most respected Sikh warrior, and it is our proud privilege that Colonel Harisimran Singh, the author of Baba Deep Singh Shaheed, is here amongst us. A small background. Baba Deep Singh was born on 26 January. It's very easy to remember the date. 26 January 1682. And is one of the most hallowed martyrs. Simrat, please be seated. One of the most hallowed martyrs in Sikhism. He is remembered for his sacrifice and devotion to the teachings of the Sikh Gurus. He was the first head of the Shahida missile. We'll be talking about it with Colonel Singh after his talk is over. And even the Damdami Taksal states that he was their first head. He was baptized by Guru Gobind Singh himself, and is respected even today. At that time as a Zinda Shaheed, and now as one of the most revered Sikh saint soldiers, Sant Sipahi, University Punjabi ch कहनी है, Sant Sipahi. And I do understand that I should not be hogging the mic and handing it over to its rightful owner. But before that, I would request our Honorable Deputy Consul General Shri Rakesh Adlakha to come and address the gathering and unveil the book also. DCG Saab, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Akunji. Namaste, good morning, Sat Sri Akal. Dear friends, at the outset, on behalf of Consulate General of India, I extend a very warm welcome to Colonel Hari Simran Singh Ji to San Francisco. We are grateful to him that he has come all the way to our city for today's discussion on his book, Deep Singh Shaheed, The Man in the Legend. Thank you so much, sir. Consulate General of India is honored and pleased to host today's book discussion. I know you have been to many such events in the past, including at our embassy in Washington and our consulate in New York, and we are indeed privileged to have you with us today. I would also like to welcome you all here at the Gadar Memorial. Thank you for taking time from your busy schedules to attend today's event. The Consul General Dr. Nagendra Prasad has conveyed his best wishes for the event and special regards to Colonel Singh Ji. He regrets that he could not attend the event as he had to travel out of San Francisco for an official visit. I personally have not had a chance so far to read the book, but I have heard a lot about Baba Deep Singh Ji, who is revered both as saint and Sipahi as mentioned by Apunji. However, I am very curious, like all of you, to know more about Baba Deep Singh Ji, and I will certainly be reading the book soonest possible. I understand that it has taken years of research to write this book. I wholeheartedly compliment you, Colonel Hari Simran Ji, for this endeavor. I also take this opportunity to thank Dr. Akun Sabharwal for organizing this wonderful event. He has indeed put in a lot of effort. I know we are all waiting impatiently to hear the author, Hari Simran Singh Ji. So without further ado, I once again welcome Colonel Hari Simran Singh Ji here in San Francisco and request him to introduce us to his well-researched book. Thank you very much.
Namaste. So good to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. When I was a lad, I remember hearing and singing this song. When you're going to San Francisco, you must wear flowers in your hair. And I think when I look at the sunshine outside, I can imagine why they sang that song. Such a beautiful day here, and it's such a wonderful feeling to be here. I'm very grateful to you all for taking the time out on a working morning to be at this session. So very kind of you. And for me, it is a true honor and privilege to be hosted by the Consul General of India, San Francisco, at the Gadar Memorial, which is a living symbol of man's urge for freedom. For us, it stands as a national monument to our freedom struggle, and it is indeed apt that my focus this morning should be one of India's great heroes from the 18th century, martyred during relentless battle against their Mughal and Afghan overlords. His is surely a rare narrative, and I feel particularly privileged in being able to bring it to a foreign shore. My sincere gratitude to the Honorable Dr. Nagendra Prasad, Consul General, who for some reason couldn't be here, for this opportunity, and I'm also very grateful to the Honorable Deputy Consul General, Shri Rakesh Adlakhaji, for his kind words and remarks about the book. I'm equally grateful to Dr. Akun Sabharwal, Indian Police Service, for meticulously and proactively coordinating this event. Thank you very much. I feel that as a part of globalization, we need to share such enduring narratives to promote intercultural competence as a remit of diplomacy. Coming to the book, I must at the outset preempt a question that I'm sure is already formed in everyone's mind. I already had this question from someone I was sitting next to. That why is the title Deep Singh Shaheed when everybody refers to him as Baba Deep Singh Shaheed Ji, or Baba Deep Singh Ji Shaheed, or Shaheed Baba Deep Singh Ji. Now in popular parlance, he is invariably referred to with both the pre-nominal Persian, this is a Persian honorific Baba, and the post-nominal Ji as a mark of utmost reverence. However, in mainstream history, he is mentioned simply as Deep Singh by most historians. This includes Hari Ram Gupta, who wrote the first comprehensive history of the Sikhs, 5-volume set, and Bhagat Singh, who wrote the first and the most comprehensive history of the Sikh missiles. Bhagat Singh refers to him as Shaheed, Deep Singh Shaheed, which is the title of my book. Even ancient texts, the Naveen Panth Prakash and the Prachin Panth Prakash also refer to him mostly as Deep Singh. Ratan Singh Pabdal's Prachin Panth Prakash, Gyani Gyan Singh's Naveen Panth Prakash mostly as Deep Singh. As a matter of fact, we must acknowledge that honorifics have no place in research publications. So this is no irreverence, it is only honoring writing conventions of research. Before I delve into the subject, I am tempted to draw an interesting parallel between the American and the Sikh experience of war fighting, since we are in America. The Americans take pride in their right to bear arms as an inalienable symbol of the gun that helped them tame the West in the 19th century. The Sikhs, much earlier, in an entirely different asymmetric context, had won the rare distinction in the 18th century, now enshrined in the Indian Constitution, to carry the symbolic sword that empowered them to sovereignty against their tyrannical overlords. I have a structured presentation through which I will try to first build context and then proceed to interweave key aspects of Deep Singh's life and work alongside the broad framework of this biography. In the military world, we readily accept that the man behind the weapon is always more important than the weapon. So what of the Sikh men and women who wielded the sword during this period? Deep Singh was certainly among the foremost. His life intersects perhaps the most turbulent period in the history of the Punjab, an era that historians often refer to as...
Why should an Indian Army officer, somebody with a past in the uniform, write a book? I think the mic is working, sir.
Is it on? Hello? Yeah. Okay. You can all hear me at the back? Great, fantastic. Okay, so many reasons for this. One is that I belong to the same village. My village is Powwind, where we have a very impressive, a very vibrant Gurdwara Janamasthan, Baba Deep Singh. We call it Powwind Sahib, now it's called an honorific as a suffix. And I remember, as a 4-year-old lad, standing by my father in the Harmandir Sahib and looking up at the Banga, Shahid Banga, and as a little child, when you see that picture with someone's head in his hand, what a frightening picture for a lad. But my dad he told me the story, and then he said, he's from our family. Because in my village, everyone says Baba Deep Singh is from our family. Very proudly we say that. So that, of course, I think that got me started, because we always, we do pray to the Gurus, but I think in the village and in the area, they also equally pray to Baba Deep Singh for some reason. And then I think, as time went along, you have questions in your mind, you try to answer them, and you find material being collected. And I think the turning point came, perhaps something that gave a new spin to my endeavors to write the book was, I made several trips to our Panda, the Tirath Purohit in Hardwar. So I was able to find and formulate my own family tree. But when I would ask him about Baba Deep Singh, I would draw a blank. So I said, yeah, everyone says that he's from my village, from Kawasaki, but he has to be there in this Pandavai also. Second time I drew a blank, third time I think I drew a blank. Third or the fourth time, we looked at a certain segment of the village, and it was the first page, Deepa. And then it said, 1785 was the entry. All the entries before that, they had degraded, because that was very fragile material in those days. So they were able to transfer some of it onto something more permanent. But 1785 was this entry, and in which, because every time you took somebody's ashes, so you were to update the family tree. 1785, somebody had updated the family tree, and he said all this. Last year it said, Deep Singh shaheed hue, Amritsar mein, Diwali, Kartik Diwali wale din, 1814 Samvat. Now this is something which is there in black and white, it is set in stone. There are some Gurdwaras, there are some writers who say that he died in 1816, 1824, but 1814, which is 1757. And there are many people who get this date right. 11th November, Diwali, Kartik Diwali wale din, if you look at the Jantri, 11th November is Diwali in 1757. So, I mean, in fact, when I saw this with my own eyes, 1814 Samvat, 1757 Christian era. So I jumped out of my skin. It's a very exciting moment, you know, when you realize that, okay, he actually lived. Because otherwise it's going to be myth, legend. But here it's there in black and white, in a historical document. By the way, the Pandavais are accepted in court as evidence. It is that authoritative. So I think that, and then I also felt that there is so much about Baba Deep Singh in our culture, so little in history. Kushwant Singh dismisses him in one line, the most revered hero in Sikh history, and maybe one more line, that's all. Many other writers, Patwant Singh does that. He talks about fighting with demonic fury through the enemy ranks and all that. But just that. So I thought that we must, as a great, iconic martyr of our culture, I thought he needed definitely better coverage.
So now then